It's the Stand On It podcast. It's true.
Come and sit down, you gotta stand on it. If it's for certain, let's have around, you gotta stand on it. Open the curtain, it's going down, you gotta stand on it. Cause I put my stamp on it, so you gotta stand. You gotta stand on it. 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 You gotta stand.
Oh yeah. We back in this thing for another episode of the Stand On It podcast. I'm your infamous host, Truth. Notice the word infamous. Tonight we're going to be talking about something that a lot of y'all are chasing. First, look at the screen. What you see here is Evans Chebet. Evans Chebet. Evans Chebet is a Kenyan long-distance runner. You might be saying, why the hell is he showing us this? Evans Chebet won the Boston Marathon that happened a couple of days ago. This is his third time winning a major marathon event, and he's won the Boston Marathon back-to-back. Yeah, he's won it back-to-back. So tonight's theme is going to be based around, I'm going to build it all in. So Evans Chebet, think about this. Think about how much training went into him not only preparing for the Boston Marathon, but sustaining a certain level of fitness, a certain level of athleticism, a certain level of endurance to be able to win the Boston Marathon back-to-back and another major world marathon event back-to-back. So when you think about a marathon is 26.2 miles. 26.2 miles. Now he ran 26.2 miles in about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Now this is on foot. 26.2 miles in about 2 hours and 20 minutes. He was moving. But I want you to think about something. The training he does and puts in to be able to accomplish such a major feat. You do something one time, people might say, oh yeah, maybe they got a little lucky or all the cards lined up in their favor. But to do it back to back and then do it on another platform as well, it says a lot about what he's doing. There has to be a level of passion. There has to be a level of dedication. He's chasing his dream of winning the marathon, or it could just be he's fulfilling his passion. But I bring this up because what a lot of y'all are doing are running a figurative marathon. Yeah, you're running a figurative marathon in an attempt to become famous. Yeah, you want to become famous. And we're not talking about Canaan's homeboy off Raising Canaan. We talking about the word famous. You want to be famous. Look at the screen. What are the odds of someone becoming famous? About 0.0086% of the world's population is famous. 0.0086%. Your chance of becoming famous is about the same as winning a $1 million lottery. Yeah. Those are your chances of becoming famous. Winning a $1 million lottery. But people continue to chase it daily. They want that fame. You would be surprised the amount of people that you encounter daily. They might not even look like it. Got plenty paper, but they don't want the fame that come along with it. But see, when you get people and then you have some, it's on the other hand. They got plenty paper, but they still not getting that notoriety that they are longing for or looking for. So now they're using their money to try and chase fame. Think about all the platforms that we got, the social media platforms. Now people are, I'm IG famous. I'm a YouTube celebrity. Or I'm TikTok famous. That's why you see so many people in the news just having a fit and signing petitions and going on because they don't want TikTok to be banned. Because they built up a following. And they become what they say is an influencer. And by the way, it's been a rough week, so I'm having a drink tonight while we doing this. But yeah, that's it. People are wanting to be famous. So I'm going to put you down on some game throughout this episode. It's going to be a shorter episode. I run about an hour when I have a guest. When it's just me, I get in, say what I need to say or feel like saying, and I get out. So we might hit 30 minutes, and we go call it. But when we're looking at this fame, and again, I want you to understand, I'm not judging you on your aspirations, but I just want to caution you on your journey. If you want to be famous, you got to understand everything that come along with that. You have to understand everything that come along with that. If you have no aspirations of being famous, but you got somebody around you who may say, well, I'd do anything to be famous. What I need you to do immediately after you hear this, get that person away from you. You got to get them away from you. And you may say, why? They just want to be famous. Because the key word, anything. So if they do anything or willing to do anything to be famous, that can mean harming you. That can mean impacting your livelihood. That can mean backdooring you to where you may have had something lined up, but they come in and swoop away your opportunity because, again, they're willing to do anything to be famous. Think about the people who you see. And I remember when I used to watch these shows back in the day, when the chick I was fucking with, she was really into them. And the love and hip hops and shit like that. And when I used to watch them shows, I'm like, boy, they on here acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? I never understood, like, you got these beautiful women on here, and they just on here just from one man to another on the camera, just doing whatever. And guess what a lot of them would say after it's all said and done? Oh, that was me getting my foot in the door. I want to be famous. You know, I want to reach a level to where everybody knows me. But remember what we said at the outset? You probably can win $1 million lottery before you become famous. And it's about chasing it. You running this figurative marathon every single day, chasing something that more than likely you will never achieve. So think about this. I have a family member, or I had a family member, R.I.P. to him. Ever since I was a little kid, I know them to play the lottery. Play the lottery. Scratch offs, whatever it was, buying lottery tickets, going to the casinos, gambling just all the time, trying to hit it big. I see people now, you'll see on the news, it'll say, hey, the Powerball has reached 1 billion or it's reached this. And you'll immediately see people just going out, people who never play the lottery, going out buying tickets in hopes of winning this prize. And then you start to hear them talking about as if they won it. Hey, when I get this money, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. Or I'm going to put it in their face. Or I'm going to do, they going to know me. Or I can't wait to drive these foreigns around the town. Like, again, it's you chasing something to get notoriety. And that's what really, when you think about clout chasing, people say that now, oh, they clout chasing. That's just another way of saying they chasing fame. That's it. And whatever they got to do to achieve it, they're going to do it. That's why you see people with cameras going pulling pranks on people they never met. They want to go viral. They want to become famous. And sadly, some people lose their life over that bullshit. They come up thinking people playing and everybody ain't playing. Now you done lost your life because you was clout chasing or chasing fame. But the point I wanted to make, my family member would spend all this money on lottery tickets, all this money on scratch-offs, blow all this money at the casino, and the biggest prize I think they ever won may have been like $4,500. And this was from me, a kid, knowing that they were doing this probably until I was in my mid or late 20s. And this is a weekly thing. So think about if you add up all the money they spent in their lifetime chasing something that they never achieved. You want that to be your life? You got to think about that. I was having this talk with one of my homies, and I was like, hey, you know, and he was saying, yeah, I got to get it. I got to get it. I got to get it. And I'm like, hey, man, you need to make them memories and do things that's going to leave a legacy. Because we can be out here and say, oh, I got to get this money. Or I got to get to this level of status or this level where people know me. But then when you pass away, the people who are closest to you, they never know who you were because you were never there. There's no memories. Yeah, it may be memories of what you provided financially. It may be memories if you reach that level of fame of them being able to say, hey, that was my relative. That was my dad. That was my brother. Or I went to school with this person. But what did you do to impact them personally? How can you go out and chase something if you ain't trying to better the situation of the people closest to you? But again, it's that selfish mentality that a lot of people have adapted. It's all about what I can get, what I can do. I gotta chase fame. So I want to play this first video we go look at about fame. And remember I said it was love in hip hop. This was an old one, and this was, I think her name was Althea or something. I think she was fucking around with Benzino or something. So after the show was over with, she was all distraught and her life isn't what she thought it would turn out to be. And now she's dealing with a lot of emotional issues and mental health. So she goes on, Iyanna Fix My Life. Yeah, she goes on, Iyanna Fix My Life. And what I like about the video, Iyanna ain't play with her, you know? She wasn't playing with her at all. She like, all right, if that's what you want to do, cool. But she let her know as well. There's a price that comes with that. Let me get the video queued up.
You know, it's not, I don't want to portray like, oh, I'm just going to fake something or just do anything just to get fame. No, I want my name. I actually want to be remembered for something when it's all said and done.
Such as what?
Such for my talent.
Okay, but do you understand when you have this word here, fame, that's externally determined. See, your talent, you can use your talent anywhere. There's lots of people with great talent who are not on television and who are not famous.
It just came to me. I can't control what has been presented
Absolutely
to me.
you can. Absolutely you can control it. See, I'm gonna do what I do.
So I should have said, no, I'm not gonna be on television.
I think maybe if you would, first of all, understand that I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you.
I believe that.
So I'm going to pause it there. You see what she said? So I should have said, no, I'm not going to be on television. Yeah, if you don't want to be famous, yes.
The way you hold it in
but
your
it's
mind.
clear she wanted to be famous.
Because
didn't reach the level of fame that she wanted to.
Given me
did a lot of bullshit on the show that probably she regrets.
Not because you're
trying to reach this fame, and now she's like, well, what was I going to say? No to the opportunity. If you don't want to do anything else,
incongruence,
you probably don't have a problem saying no. Nobody made you go on TV. This was a choice you made.
End up like
I'm glad
this, and then
Ayana
say
wouldn't let off
things
the
you
hook.
can't stand behind.
I
Maybe
believe
that's
that.
what's going on. But in order to be helped, you've got to be willing to hear some things that are going to challenge the way you hold it in your mind. Known for your talent. Because you haven't given me clarity about anything that I've asked you. That's why I'm writing it down. Not because you're a child, but because I want you to be able to recognize the level of incongruence in your consciousness that has you show up like this, end up like this, and then say things you can't stand behind.
Boy, she just let. If you're listening to the audio, make sure you go to the YouTube and look at the video so you can see what she was showing on the video. Now there's a life-size pinup of her that Ayana has on the scene. And she says, you show up like this, pointing to the pinup where they got her all dolled up to be on the show. And then she say, you ended up like this, chasing fame. And it's a picture of her mugshot of things she was doing on the show, trying to be famous, that carried over off the show. Let's keep going.
Maybe that's what's going on in your relationship. It's a lot of incongruence. You're not aligned.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because you're telling me you want to be known for your talent. Why can't you just enjoy your talent and share it in ways that bring you joy? But then you never mention talent. I mention talent. You mention fame and money. So what I want you to really be clear about is...
And let's spend a second on this. Like she said, you never mentioned talent. You mentioned fame and money. And Ayana said from the beginning, there's a lot of people with talent who are not famous. I even know some people who have a level of fame and they use their talent. Think about people like one of my favorite, I wouldn't say really known rappers to a lot of people, but it's just how he carry himself. Currency. Currency got a lot of bread from using his talent and taking that talent and investing in other things and driving his talent to do a whole lot of other stuff. But Currency still has the freedom to where he can walk around. People ain't really bothering him like that because they know, hey man, this Currency, he don't fool nobody. He just a laid back dude. He ain't trying to do all this extra stuff. Now fast forward and look at somebody like Drake. Now I'm not saying Drake is chasing talent. Chasing fame. I'm not saying that. He could have been. Think about it. He started off on a TV show, Degrassi, in a role that a lot of people probably would have turned down. He had to play somebody that was in a wheelchair. But maybe that was him doing that to catapult him into the public eye so he could reach a level of fame. Think about him and Currency. Drake can't just go out and do what he want to do. He can't live a normal life. He can't. He can't just, I'm going to go pull up at the bar and have a drink. Can't do that. I'm going to be low key with my lady tonight. We just go watch a movie, get dinner. Can't do that. His talent and his fame has catapulted him to one of the biggest artists in the world. So he no longer has the luxury of being able to go out and enjoy his life in a low-key manner. See the difference? Currency, yeah, he has talent. He has money. He utilizes his talent to earn money, and he can live his life luxuriously. But he don't have to have all the other stuff that come with it. Let's keep going.
Fame is an external validation that you can't determine.
Think about that. Fame, external validation that you can't determine. So when people use their talent, you never know, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to become famous. The people decide that. They have to validate that. Yeah, we really fuck with this at another level. And then the machine that gets behind this person, whether it's a record label, whether it's a A&R, whether it's a agent, they're pushing this person in front of you all the time. So the more you see something, people are prone to like it. It's not necessarily that a lot of people that you see every day that are famous have this high level of talent. It's just a machine that's put behind them that the masses then embrace it. And to Ayana's point, that's that external validation. But if you utilize your talent to do things that you like to do without chasing the fame, you don't have to worry about that external validation because you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for everybody else. That's what really fame is. You want validation from everybody else that says, yeah, you it. That's what you want. You'll hear people say, I want to be a superstar. Think about this. My cousins, they had this old mutt-ass dog. You know, cool little dog, but it was a mutt. That dog would just be out in the yard, just chasing his tail around, chasing the tail. And we just sitting there like, what the hell wrong with this dog? Chasing something he was never going to catch. But guess what? We were the idiots. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in that moment, we making the dog damn famous to us because we're watching. We know he ain't going to never catch his tail, but he's entertaining us for the moment. So we sit there for minutes on end watching this dog chase his tail. And that's what a lot of us subconsciously do to all of these people, whether it's on social media, people that we come across in real life. We watching them do this bullshit, knowing they're not going to reach the level that they want to reach. But it's entertaining. So we watch it. We watch them put on a show. So when you think about fame, there's two sides to the fame. When you think about, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to be famous and this is what's going to turn out for me and I'm going to have all the notoriety. I'm going to have all the accolades and people going to know me when I go out. Let's look at this video here. We ain't going to watch the whole thing. We go pause it some in between. I'm going to get it queued up.
Always feel comfortable admitting it to our friends. It's embarrassing, but secretly, the idea of being famous has great appeal. Fame seems to be the solution to so many problems. When you're famous, people will make way for you in crowds. You'll get warm smiles from admiring strangers. You'll be safe from rejection. You won't have to explain who you are at each new occasion. People will be convinced by you before you even meet them. If ever you're unhappy about something, your complaints will be taken very seriously. Your happiness will become the focus of everyone's efforts. You'll be boss. The intense desire for fame probably has its roots in the experience of neglect, in injury. No one would want to be famous who hadn't also somewhere in the past been made to feel extremely insignificant.
So I'm going to pause it there. You're looking at the video. Notice who they showed. One of the people they showed in the beginning, Harvey Weinstein. You know how his fame turned out for him, right? And then, like I said, you may have been someone who felt significantly insignificant. Whether it was in your family life or just in society. Last week I talked about that. I just want to be seen. I want to be seen. So now that longing for wanting to be seen has turned into you. Remember the person I said at the outset? I'd do anything to be famous. Yeah, I want to be seen, so I'm going to do anything to be famous. Let's keep the video rolling.
Perhaps one's parents were hard to impress. That's why one dreams that one day the world will pay attention. Or maybe our parents were great, but it was the wider world, starting with the schoolyard, that was intolerable after early years of adulation at home. And yet, there's a problem. Fame cannot really accomplish what is asked of it. Every new famous person who disintegrates, breaks down in public, or loses their mind is judged in isolation, rather than being interpreted as a victim of an inevitable pattern within the pathology of fame.
Yeah. So you'll see these famous people, they break down, they end up doing shit that get them locked up, going to jail. A lot of them take their own lives. And then when these things happen to them, what they dreamed about for years, when it came into fruition, now they can't handle it. Now they want sympathy in the eye of the public. Or now they don't want the fame anymore. They want to just go back to living a normal life. But see, nobody wants to pay attention and look at that. They want to just think of back in the day. I was born in the 80s. There was these things that women used to get called glamour shots. Yeah, they used to get glamour shots. And you would see a woman get glamour shots, you'd be like, damn. They really had her dolled up and she would look amazing. But look nothing like she looked in real life. Every time you see these celebrities on camera, you see them in pictures, you see them in magazines, that's their glamour shots. They're not showing you the behind the scenes of when they kids don't want to have nothing to do with them because they never there. They missed another basketball game. They missed another volleyball game. They missed another parent-teacher conference. Their significant other, they don't show that side where they don't want to have nothing to do with them no more because they found another woman's number in the phone again. They hiding another baby that was born outside of wedlock again. So it's all glamour shots that's being shown. And then they get mad when they do some bullshit and they're convicted in the eye of public opinion. Well, when you live your life in the public, what you expect that's going to happen? That's what really happened to R. Kelly, if you want to keep it real. He was convicted in the eye of public opinion before he ever stepped foot in the courtroom. Bill Cosby as well. All these folks, when they do some bullshit, those same people who was, oh, you famous, you the best thing, we love you, watch how quick they turn their back on. But see, they don't tell you this story. It's just, yeah, you can be famous. That carrot just stay dangling in front of your face. You spend your whole lifetime playing scratch-offs, going to the casino, and you never go win. The odds are so slim, by the time you do win, you've sacrificed so much that it's not even gonna be worth it. That's the reality of the situation. Let's watch some more of the video.
You want to be famous because you want people to like you. But the world isn't generally kind to the famous for very long, and the reason is basic. The success of any one person involves humiliation for lots of others. The celebrity of a few people will always contrast painfully with the obscurity of the many. Being famous upsets people. When we imagine fame, we forget that it's inextricably connected to being too visible in the eyes of some people, to bugging them unduly, to coming to be seen as the plausible cause of their humiliation, a symbol of how the world has treated them unfairly. Fame makes people more, not less vulnerable, because it throws them open to unlimited judgment. Everyone is wounded by a cruel assessment of their character or merit, but the famous have an added challenge in store. The assessments will come in from legions of people who would never dare to say to their faces what they can now express from the safety of the newspaper office or the screen. We know from our own lives that a nasty remark can take a day or two to process. Social media hasn't helped. It's made it far easier than before to be famous, and therefore, by necessity, far easier to be hated. A minor...
So think about that. Made a great point. The fame, something that's hard to be sustained. Because think about this. I think Janet Jackson had a song back in the day called "What Have You Done For Me Lately?" That's just what fame is. What have you done for me lately? We don't really care about this or that, especially now with social media. And what comes with it, people always say, "Oh, if you ain't got haters, you ain't doing enough." You know how stupid that is? If you don't have haters, you're not doing enough. So you want people to hate you. I used to be under that same mindset. Boy, I ain't got enough haters. I need to go get some more haters. I need people to hate me. No, that's small-minded thinking. I don't have enough haters. I'm not doing enough. You're chasing that fame. That's really what it's going to be. The people are going to look at you maybe for your celebrity, and they'll act like they'll like you. But these same people will turn around and pour it on heavy if you get caught up in some bullshit. You know why? Because they're not famous. You know why? Because they're part of that 0.0000.86%. You're part of that, and they're not. So you got all of these people who are willing to do anything to achieve what you have, but they never go reach it. How the hell you expect them to like you? Long term. How the hell you expect them to do that? You see what I'm saying? Now, I will say this. I'm by no means famous. I met several celebrities in my lifetime, been around quite a few of them in my lifetime. I never will forget, I was in Atlanta. I met a party, and this is when Travis Porter was going stupid. Them niggas was, they was it. And shit, we in the party, we in there with them. And they around and people like, oh shit, Travis Porter, girls going crazy, niggas going crazy, wanting to get in pictures. You know where I was? In the cut, busting open a Swisher. Didn't care nothing about it. If you find a picture of me with a celebrity, and I done been around a lot of them, well, I ain't gonna say a lot, I would say a good number of them. One, because I initiated it. They might say, hey man, wanna get in the picture? Or the people I'm with, hey, come take the picture with us, man. But some of y'all boys, like, think of the discussions people have, and I see people argue about this. This is why I fucking hate social media. I see people arguing about, you see the new stuff they done started? Would you rather have dinner with this person or $1 million? Who gives a damn about sitting down? And I hear people, man, I'd take the dinner with Jay-Z because I'm going to pick his brain on how he became who he is, and then I'm going to take that to get game and then drive where I want to be. Man, shut the fuck up. You're not finna do none of that. That's just stupid that you would even sit back and go, and real shit. This ain't no joke right here. Again, another thing about fame. We had a fight party one time. This ain't no bullshit. 2 niggas got to arguing over who had more money, Jay-Z or Beyonce. Out of this argument came one of the niggas and they homeboys trying to throw the other nigga off the 3rd floor balcony. Arguing over 2 celebrities who don't give a fuck about them, about who got more money. And this was at least 5, 6, 7 years ago. So think from that point on to now how this shit done got. People just running down, chasing people. Oh man. Like I seen somebody the other day, and I'm like, boy, motherfuckers have really lost it. Somebody screenshotted that a TikTok influencer had followed them back. A TikTok influencer followed them back. And they was like, oh, it's about to be up. we got to do better on where we are, what we thinking about, what we're looking at, and saying, yeah, this is it. This is the way to go. This is how we need to be. No, because keep in mind, what I said at the beginning, the Boston Marathon, it has 30,000 athletes competing in it from over 100 countries. 30,000. Over 100 countries. Now, out of those 30,000, one person wins. But them same 30,000 gonna train and show up next year. They're gonna put in that if they probably don't work, because I don't know how you could train to run 26.2 miles and have a job, a 9 to 5, and get off. Like, when are you training for this? Unless your job entails something that would allow you to train while you're working, like if you're a personal trainer or something. But think about this. You got 29,999 other people who are going to show up next year in hopes of winning something that they have no chance at winning. Think about the 29,999th person that finished. They're going to show up next year and try and do it all over again. And even if they make one spot improvement and become 29,998, that's enough motivation for them to do it again. All these people chasing fame. One person follow them, they screenshot it and show it. That's enough motivation for them to do anything to be famous. Hey man, make sure you follow back. Like, subscribe, rate, review, hit the notifications on your YouTube. Remember, the full video drops every Thursday at 5 o'clock on the YouTube channel. And the full audio drops every Friday on all major podcast platforms. Tune in, like, subscribe, rate, review, leave a comment. If you want to send any topics that you want me to discuss, or if you want to be a guest, email isaypodcast@gmail.com. Got 3 more guests lined up, but after that, I'm going back to myself for a while. Nothing against the guests. I love sitting down, getting other people's perspectives, but I really like just being me. Until next time, it's true.
Sit down, you gotta stand on it. If it's for certain, less of around, you gotta stand on it. Open the curtain, it's going down, you gotta stand on it. Cause I put my stamp on it, so you gotta stand. You gotta stand on it. You gotta stand on it. You gotta stand on it. You gotta stand on it.